Hi, readers. All right. So, today for our mini lesson, I want to come back to this idea of inferences. And we're going to come back to this idea a ton over the next couple of months, really. So, remember from yesterday that an inference is when a reader has an idea that they come up with all by themselves, but that idea is based on clues from the text and their own schema. So, like, what do they already know about life or about that topic? And when you combine those, you can have an idea that nobody tells you this is the answer. You just think it would be the answer based on the clues and based on your schema. So, yesterday we tried making some inferences about my wallet. And indeed, you can make inferences about so many things in life. But today we're going to try and make some inferences based on Mercy Watson. And these inferences are going to be inferences where we're going to try and think about the character's feeling. So even though the author isn't going to come right out and say, this is how Mercy is feeling, we're going to use clues about what the characters look like, what they say, and what they do. Plus, we're going to use like what you already know, like how are you feeling if that were to happen to you? Or when you would say something like that, how would you be feeling? And we're going to make an inference about the character feelings. All right, so let's give it a try here. So remember this page, it says, and so Mercy got out of her bed and went and got in bed with Mr. and Mrs. Watson. She snuggled up between them. Mercy Watson felt warm inside, as if she had just eaten toast with a great deal of butter on it. Okay, so I'm going to look for some clues here. I'm going to think about clues of how they are looking, what they say, or what they do. So when I look at the picture right here, major clue, I see they all have a smile on their face. I also see that they're all like cozy in a bed. I know that when I'm smiling, that usually means I'm pretty happy. And when I'm in bed, oh yeah, that usually means I'm happy and cozy. So just based on that picture, I think they might be feeling happy, right? I don't see any dialogue on this page. I looked real quick and don't see any quotation marks. So there's nothing that any of them say on this page, but there are some actions on this page. When she got out of her bed, she got into bed and snuggled up between them. So again, I know like when my own kids at home snuggle up with me, that's like a warm and a nice feeling. So we can infer that they're feeling happy. And even the author said that they're feeling warm inside, as if they had just eaten hot toast. So that would be a good feeling, right? So we just made an inference based on that page. Let's try another page. I'm going to go a little bit later in the book. All right, let's try this page. So remember this part. So just by looking at their faces, you can notice the way that they're looking and you can think, ooh, I've seen that face before. I know when people look like that, they're like worried or a little bit scared or like, oh my gosh, just like worried, scared. And so now let's go ahead and I'm going to reread a little bit of this. It says, boom, a hole opened under the Watson's bed. Crack! The Watson's bed fell into the hole. Mr. Watson woke up. Mrs. Watson woke up. Mercy woke up too. What in the? Said Mr. Watson. So now, when I heard Mr. Watson say, what the? I know, like, I've heard people saying that, and that means, like, he's wondering, like, what is going on? So maybe he's feeling confused, or maybe he's feeling very shocked, right? The actions, the bed fell into a hole. That's a really big action, right? That's something that happened. That's something that characters were kind of experiencing on that page. If my bed fell into a hole, how would I be feeling? Terrified, worried, shocked, surprised, all of those, right? So we can make inferences. The author never says on this page how they're feeling, but we can infer how those characters are feeling. We're going to try one more. We're going to skip ahead quite a bit. I'm going to go to page 30 here. Okay. So when we look on this page, I want you to think about how are the characters feeling? So I'm going to start right here. Baby saw Mercy's snout pressed up against the window. A monster! Shouted Baby. A monster at my window! It's not a monster, is it? It's Mercy. Mercy shook her head. Sister! Shouted Baby. Help! Help! A monster! Eugenia woke up. She put in her teeth. She put on her glasses. By the way, putting in her teeth, that means she has to have fake teeth. Eugenia went straight to the phone and called the fire department. This is a crisis of uncertain nature at 52 Decawood Drive, said Eugenia Lincoln. Come immediately. All right, I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to look for some clues to try and infer how she's feeling. So, man, lots of clues here. She's saying that it's a monster. She thinks there's a monster at her window. I think if I ever thought there was a monster at my window, how would I be feeling? Terrified, really, really worried. So I think that might be how she's feeling too. Um, Also, I notice some action, which is that she called the fire department. I know that you should only call the fire department in case of an emergency. So she must be feeling really worried because she feels like this is an emergency. So I think she is really worried and scared. All right, second graders. Well, you have an idea here now. I just modeled for you how you can use clues plus what you already know to make an inference about the character's feelings. Remember that readers are leaders, and this is something that readers do not just today and not even just during their reading. They also think about this when they're watching a show or movie or everyday life. Relates to second step, doesn't it? So we can always make an inference about how somebody's feeling based on how they're looking, what they say, and what they do.